will lean on to get them through the Lindor-less season. When Ramirez has been the number 2 of the 1-2 punch, he's been great. But will he be that player this year, or will he try to do too much? And if that happens, will it work? Again this season, the Indians can pitch with anybody. The reigning Cy Young winner Shane Bieber leads the way, and after him, there's a ton of talent. Aaron Savali, Tristan McKenzie, Logan Allen, and more young arms waiting in the wings. Yes, the Indians have starting pitching that most teams can't match. But the bullpen could be another story, a story we'll watch as this season grinds on. Will the Indians hit enough in 2021? They certainly didn't tear the cover off the ball this spring. But just when you thought that the Indians were so strapped financially that they wouldn't spend a buck all winter long, they landed Eddie Rosario in free agency. Rosario was good with the Twins, but the Indians need him to be better than just good here in Cleveland. His old team, the Twins, are rightfully picked to win the division with the exciting White Sox right behind them. And the Indians sit behind those two. And that's exactly the spot that Terry Francona likes his team to be put in. Because every time Francona's Indians have been picked for the middle of the pack, well, they surprise everyone and overachieve. And that would be the plan again this season. So questions aplenty, but the Indians are home. Progressive Field will have a pulse again with fans present. And day by day, baseball will get back to normal. And that's a good thing. And that's the best news of all, that baseball is starting to get back to normalcy, and it starts here today at Progressive Field. Those percentage numbers should rise month by month, 30% capacity during April, and then it should climb hopefully by July. Hopefully by July, we'll be at 100% capacity. Fans milling about downtown Cleveland. That's the best side of all. Laura Queso has that side of the story covered for us. It's great to see a buzz for baseball in downtown Cleveland, Laura.
Oh, Jim, is it? It is so exciting for so many fans. The first time, like you've been saying, in more than a year, they have been eagerly awaiting for so long to get back into those seats, but also to get back out and celebrate, even if they're not going into the stadium. Fans' emotions are high. I was actually downtown earlier, and it is so nice to see people walking around in their Cleveland's gear. Okay, take a look at this. Familiar sight, right? The Thirsty Parrot. We know this is a popular spot for so many games. Okay, last year we brought you the same site. It was a ghost town. Tonight, look at that. A line to get in, a socially distanced line, let's say that. So people are ready to get out. They're enjoying this weather. They're celebrating the home opener today. Okay, another site. Check out PANINI'S. Hear that music? Gets you in the spirit, right? Also downtown. We love seeing that patio with people, fans, in their Indians gear. I actually talked to photojournalist Kelly Matter, who got this video for us. She says it's a pretty calm vibe, but they're excited. People are in good spirits. It's also kind of a sign of hope, right? That things are starting to look a bit like normal, or what we're really used to. So it is a welcome sight. Yes, Indians, go Indians. Okay, just a few reminders. All tickets will go through mobile entry. Again, reduced capacity. Hopefully, though, Jim, by this summer, we will see more people in those stands. Goodbye to the cardboard cutouts. Hello to fans, Jim.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Laura. We'll check back in with you in a couple of minutes later on in our show. For those that will not be here today, a tip of the hat and a hearty, hey, get well soon to the man that gives us really the pulse of Progressive Field, drummer John Adams. He'll not be at the game today. First home opener that he's missed since 1973. Many an Indians late inning rally has started with the beat of his drum up in the bleachers. He's recovering from heart surgery. John, get well. In his place, Patrick Carney will fill in for him today. He's the drummer for the Black Keys and an Akron native, and he will keep the beat today. We have to keep the beat going here at Progressive Field. Time to check in with Nick Camino right now as we get set for the opening game here today. You know, when you get traded to the Indians last year, like Josh Naylor did, Nick, we really didn't get a chance to know him. Yet he was the only guy that hit in the playoff series against the New York Yankees in those 2 games here in October. But he's a part of the lineup right now, and I know you had a chance to talk to him.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're absolutely right. This guy has a lot of energy. So on top of talking about just baseball, I wanted to ask him what the energy is like for the players, the guys that are out there when they get to enjoy an opening day. What's this like? I know we're excited. The fans are excited. What's this like for the players, especially on a team that he is going to be an integral piece for?
I mean, just the start of a new season, started something beautiful for this organization, and you know, just an opportunity to compete for 162, and we're all thankful for it, and we're all ready for it.
When I watch you play, and when you hear your teammates talk about you, or Terry Francona, everybody kind of talks about your emotion and your energy that you bring. Is that kind of something you take pride in?
Yeah, I mean, I love the game of baseball. I love competing. I love going out there every day and, you know, knowing I get a chance to face a ton of challenges in that game, whether it's because they have an ace pitch or whoever so-and-so's throwing. Like every day is awesome because it's a challenge. It's an opportunity to go on the field, and you never know when it's going to be your last day out there. So I just try to bring the energy, bring, you know, the passion and the love for the game and show everybody it.
I think everyone's trying to make predictions about this club, and nobody really knows what to think. I mean, people have asked me. I said, you know, I don't know. We'll have to see once the games start. You know, you've been around this group. You know your teammates. What are your expectations, Josh?
Just to go out there and just compete, you know, 1 through 9, to have fun, to play the hardest we can, and, you know, hopefully we come out with a ton of wins. We love being underdogs, man, and being an underdog in life is a beautiful thing because it makes winning, the taste of winning that much better. So it's exciting.
People have asked me about the starting lineup, and you know, you feel like you guys can score enough runs. I mean, I look at guys like you, Franmil Reyes, Cesar Hernandez. I mean, you look up and down the lineup, Josh. I mean, it feels like there's enough runs there, especially with the pitching you guys have.
We got studs through and through, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. We got studs all the way throughout our whole roster, and you know, it's going to be a challenge for other teams to match our mentality and our energy, because we're going to go out there, you know, full tilt every day, and you know, we're going to win that game. We're coming into the field every morning saying, you know, we're winning this game. Let's do everything before the game to prepare to win, and you know, that's just how it is here, and it's awesome.
Are you looking forward to having fans back at the ballpark this year?
Yeah, a lot. I love talking to fans, whether it's running in from, you know, the third out or waving to a kid who says my name. It's awesome.
Josh, listen, really appreciate the time. It's fun to catch up with you, and best of luck this season. You got a full slate of games here. Let's play them all, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, it was great catching up with Josh Naylor. And Jimmy, in my conversations with a couple of different Indians players, and I know you had a chance to catch up with Terry Francona, when you bring up fans being back at the ballpark, you just get the biggest smile from these guys. They are thrilled to have some fans. Even if it's at 30% capacity, you could have 5 people there. I think they'd be excited for today.
You're right, Nick. It would be 5 more than they played in front of all of last year. It was a really strange season, one that they do never want to relive again in the near future. All right, let's talk about the weather here today. Right now, we're overcast but very comfortable. We're in the mid-60s. We had sunny skies throughout the morning hours. We've lost that a little bit, but it really is a beautiful day compared to April 6, 2007. And I remember I was calling the game on Channel 3 with Rick Manning, and all of a sudden we were doing no school announcements. It was the Indians taking on the Mariners, and you talk about lake effect snow. How about this? Remember, the Indians were 1 strike away from a win and a no-hitter perhaps by Paul Byrd when Mike Hargrove, then the Mariners manager, came out and said, my batter can't see. And the game never got finished. In fact, the Indians had to leave town. There was so much snow, and continued play in Milwaukee. The Brewers lent them their stadium, Miller Park, to play Indians home games until we could get Cleveland dug out from a spring snowstorm. What a day that was. What a weekend. Happy Easter. That's the way it went back in 2007. All right, there are 2 key positions on opening day. The starting pitcher, that's Logan Allen, and the meteorologist on call for the day. That's Matt Wentz. Matt, no pressure. Take it away.
Yeah, Jimmy, no pressure at all. You know, it's so funny. I go back to 2007. I remember that very distinctly, and I was like, wow, is it really snowing at the ballpark? But, you know, thankfully, Jimmy, we've got nothing like that today. We've got the temperatures in the mid-60s, as you mentioned, which are way above average. But these clouds coming at a price. We do have some rain that's moving across the lake. If you joined us over the weekend, the forecast was bringing that rain in. just in time for the first pitch. So let's take you to the maps now. We'll start with temperatures. Generally speaking, this is a beautiful spring afternoon. We're 71 now downtown, upper 60s at the ballpark right now. That is widespread across all northern Ohio as we've got a southerly wind that's going to continue to pump in that warmer air. However, as you look at the radar, yeah, there's a pretty decent clusters of showers and thunderstorms that formed in Michigan that is now rolling across Lake Erie. What it has to overcome here in Northeast Ohio is some dry air, so a lot of this is breaking apart as it moves in. I do expect there to be some light rain at the ballpark over the next couple hours, but in terms of any heavy rain, I think that'll stay either offshore or redevelop down towards the south. This is all along a stalled out frontal boundary that is the demarcation line between that warm air and the cooler air off towards the north. And boy, over the next couple days, we are really going to bring some of that warm air in. It's going to feel summer-like as we get into your Tuesday and Wednesday. But first things first, the game tonight, you can see as we go hour by hour with the National Zymark forecast, the model's not very gung-ho about the rain at all. I do think we'll have more on radar with that, but in terms of delays, anything like that, I'm not seeing it at this point. And then as I mentioned, on into our Tuesday, we're dealing with much warmer conditions. Temperatures will skyrocket into the 70s. So that game day forecast, couple raindrops around 66 at first pitch. Jimmy, one thing we'll have to watch, though, once that rain moves in, it might turn the wind off the lake a little bit, so I think we will see falling temperatures throughout the game. But overall, compared to 2007, we'll take this.
Absolutely. Matt, well done. We'll check back with you a little bit later on in the show. Hey, opening day here on Channel 3 is presented by your greater Cleveland area Volkswagen dealers. When we come back, live from Progressive Field, we'll continue the American League Central Division. Who's going to win it? Who goes on to the World Series? Jay Crawford joins us next.
Check 1, 2. Hi, Jimmy. Opening day. Happy New Year to you. The Indians hoping to get their home portion of their season off to a good start today.
Today's pitching performance is brought to you by your local Cleveland area Volkswagen dealers, Logan Allen. Left-handed pitcher, only 23 years old. What a thrill for him to come to the Indians and draw the starting assignment on the day of the home opener. He only pitched in 3 games last year. He came over to the Indians in the Mike Clevenger deal at the trading deadline last summer from San Diego. Now, as you watch the game here on WKYC, follow along on WKYC.com and the WKYC app. Get all the action on our live blog. And then after the game, check out stories, photos, player interviews. Send us your fan photos, too, like the shots you're seeing right now. You can get it all on WKYC.com and the WKYC app. Welcome back, everybody. Indians opening day. The fans are really excited outside the gates here in the Gateway Plaza as they get set to open up and welcome them back into Progressive Field. It's been a long time. You know, it's been a long time, too, since the Indians have kind of been picked as an underdog in the Central Division. And that's the case this year. Jay Crawford joins me right now. Would you agree with me on that, Jay? That, I mean, everyone's going Twins and White Sox, and people don't really know about the Indians.
Yeah, no question. The Indians come in this year in an unfamiliar spot. They are, Jimmy, the underdog. And if you had to follow the offseason and pick sort of the winners and losers of the offseason, clearly the White Sox, who did a tremendous amount to beef up their roster. They also bring in 76-year-old Tony La Russa to manage this team. That tells you that they are going for all of this. They brought in the pieces. We know they have a superstar in Jose Abreu, but they've also got some new pieces to this team. And when Tony La Russa comes in, this is a guy who knows how to manage a club through postseason baseball. So they're going for it, and they, according to Vegas and according to the experts, are the odds-on to win it. Then you've got to look at the Minnesota Twins, who, Jimmy, despite the fact the Indians have enjoyed most of the success over the last 6-7 years or so in this division, the Twins are the 2-time defending champions. Trouble is, when they get to the postseason, they crumble. They fall apart. They have now lost 18 straight postseason games. The player to watch for the Twins this year is Byron Buxton. After a sort of rocky start to his highly anticipated Major League career, he's put it together. This is a guy that could be in the MVP running. They are 2-1 so far this season. And then really after that, Jimmy, you've got the Royals, the Indians, and the Tigers, and you can sort of interchange those parts. How they finish 3, 4, 5, it's going to be dependent upon how much runs and how much offense this Indians team can predict. So as you take a look at Major League Baseball in general, no surprise at all, the Los Angeles Dodgers, who not only won the World Series last year, Jimmy, but wildly improved their roster in the offseason. Trevor Bauer, now a member of the Dodgers. This team is the 3-1 pick to win the World Series. These odds courtesy of Caesars Sportsbook. Then you've got the Yankees. They're the top pick in the American League. They're the 5-1 choice. The White Sox are the highest thought of team in the AL Central in terms of these World Series odds. And then, Jimmy, you've got the Indians at 40-1. So the division is sort of turned upside down. The Indians, in my view, have a team that can potentially win between 75 and 82 games. I really don't see them competing for the division title. However, we know Terry Francona does a terrific job of getting the most out of his players, and he's going to need to do that, Jimmy. It will take his best managerial job ever for him to get this Indians team towards the top of this AL Central heap and perhaps into the playoffs. The roster just isn't there, and Frankie Lindor isn't coming back.
Jay, thanks very much. And you're right about Terry Francona. Boy, you talk about a guy that's happy to be back. He is thrilled to be back. Remember, he only managed 14 games last season. When we come back on Indians opening day, live from Progressive Field, we'll continue. Chris Antonetti, the Indians president, joins me. We'll talk about the 2021 vision with him next. Hey, do you want more info on your favorite team, the Indians? Check out the Locked On Indians podcast with Jeff Ellis. You can check it out at WKYC.com. Downtown Cleveland, a buzz today. It's opening day. A look inside the Clevelander, just outside the Gateway Plaza area. Fans getting set to have lunch, a little beverage or two, and then make their way over to the ballpark. The Indians and Royals a little bit after 4 o'clock. If you're at the Clevelander, say hello to my good friend John Granzier. Tell him Jim Donovan said happy opening day to him. And it's a happy opening day, everybody, for everybody here in Cleveland, being brought to you here on Channel 3 in sponsorship by your greater Cleveland area Volkswagen dealers. It's a happy day for Indians president Chris Antonetti. The business of baseball, fans back in the ballpark. But it was a tricky offseason for the Indians. Reduced payroll again, had to deal with the Lindor contract situation. But the season is here. Here's Chris Antonetti.
At least this year, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Last year, we didn't even know what the tunnel looked like. So we're excited about getting back to baseball and playing in front of our fans, which we really missed last year.
Yeah, that is on both sides of the issue. And the fans missed you, and downtown missed you. It will be great to see people back in that ballpark. I have to tell you, when I was in that park and the Yankees came in for those playoff games, that's when it really hit me how strange this was, because you can only imagine what the atmosphere would have been like if fans were there in the city and the Yankees are in for a playoff series.
Yeah, no question. We felt it during the course of the regular season, Jim, but as you said, it was magnified in the postseason. We all know what Progressive feels like for the postseason and just how much of a competitive advantage that is for us. And that was definitely missing last year. So hopefully we can play well enough during the course of the postseason to earn that, or during the regular season to earn that opportunity in the postseason again and welcome our fans back for more postseason baseball.
So let's just attack this issue, which is now gone, and that is that the Francisco Lindor story has been sealed, at least as far as the Cleveland chapter is concerned. Now that that's all buttoned up, is the concentration level even inside the clubhouse and with the team complete, that's not going to be a storyline as we approach a trade deadline or another offseason?
I do think that'll be helpful in some respects, Jim, that we at least have clarity around what the future will look like. And we made a really difficult decision this offseason to trade Francisco and Carlos, but we feel like that trade positions us to continue to contend this year and positions us to be successful moving forward. And we're really excited about the impression some of the young players have made in their time with us, and are excited to see this team come together and go out and compete.
In general terms, what is this team? What is it? What do you feel it's going to be like?
I think it's an exciting young team that has quality veterans mixed throughout to help lead the way. And our success, I think, will be impacted by how well do our young players take that next step forward in their career and increase their contribution at the major league level. And we have guys like Eddie Rosario, Jose Ramirez, Shane Bieber, Cesar Hernandez, Nick Wickren to help lead them in the right direction and combine that great leadership with what we feel is a really talented roster. And we have the opportunity to be a good team.
How excited are you, because you continue year in and year out now, certainly in recent times, to roll out that pitching, that rotation that you can roll out, topped off by a Cy Young Award winner at a very young age. It's the strength of the team. I don't think you have to really, be a baseball genius to take a look at what you have, and what you have is what a lot of people would like to have, and that's pitching.
Yeah, no question, Jim. Our starting rotation has been a strength of ours over the course of the last handful of seasons. This year's a little bit different, that we know we have a couple of players and a couple of pitchers that are established. We have another young group that's shown promise and shown signs that they're capable of stepping into those roles and absorbing those innings and pitching effectively. But it's going to be important that guys like Logan Allen and Aaron Savali and Tristan McKenzie and Cal Quantrill continue to take that step forward in their development and emerge as effective starting pitchers for us, because, as you said, that's going to be an important element of our club's success.
Well, it's going to be great to get back to Progressive Field It's going to be great to have people come back inside Progressive Field. Still the most beautiful ballpark around, and I know that has the players tickled too. They miss the fans.
No question. That was it was great to get back to playing baseball in the second half of last year, but it just didn't feel the same without our fans there. And this year we can't wait for opening day back in Progressive Field, welcome our fans back, and then hopefully as the summer moves on, we'll be able to welcome more and more fans back to the ballpark.
Chris, thanks for your time. Best of luck.
My pleasure, Jim. Always great to be with you.
And there he is, Indians president Chris Antonetti. Oh yeah, there's another storyline. The Indians, how much longer will they be named the Indians? The name change. Where are we with that? Brandon Simmons tells us next. It's Indians opening day here on Channel 3. We're live at Progressive Field and all around the city on a very special day. I'm Jim Donovan. And Indians opening day on Channel 3 is being presented by your local greater Cleveland area Volkswagen dealers. Okay, it's been a steady evolution of the change of the name from Cleveland Indians to something new. We don't know what that new is going to be. More importantly, we don't know when it's going to happen. The timeline continues to seem to get pushed back. But with more on it, here's Channel 3's Brandon Simmons.
The Cleveland Indians name goes back more than a century, believed to have been a nod to Louis Sockalexis, a Native American baseball legend who played for the former Cleveland Spiders. But today, the Indians name is at the center of controversy and will soon be retired.
Whether it's Indians, Warriors, or the racial slur, Redskins, these harm Native Americans, and we have scientific evidence showing that.
Josh Hunt, a member of the Cheyenne tribe, is one of many activists pushing sports teams to stop using Native American images and names. Protests outside Progressive Field have happened year after year, and now change is on the way. The team first announced it was exploring a name change in July following protests of racial injustice across the nation. Officially announcing a name change was in the works in December. Cleveland skipper Terry Francona had this to say at the time.
I think what's important for people to understand is, what we're really proud of is the first name of our team, which is Cleveland.
Although change is on the way, a specific date has not yet been given. In mid-March, team owner Paul Dolan is quoted by Cleveland.com saying, "Our target is still 2022, but it is a difficult process." He continued it could be sometime in the middle of this year when the name change happens, but if not, there's a chance it could be pushed into 2023. The Washington football team has proven how difficult the process can be, going nameless after dropping the offensive Redskins name and logo last year. But that likely won't happen here in Cleveland, as the plan is to keep the current name until a replacement is chosen. But what exactly could the replacement be? Could it be a return to the Cleveland Spiders used more than 100 years ago, or something completely different? I suppose only time will tell. I'm Brandon Simmons, 3 News.
Brandon, thanks for that. And that timeline continues. We keep our eye on it in anticipation of when the name change happens. And as Brandon points out, what is the new name going to be? But it's also prompted changes here at the ballpark as to what you can wear into the ballpark. With more on that, we go back to Laura Queso. The Indians are saying there have to be changes inside the park, Laura.
Yeah, that's right, Jim. Each year there are always a few things different at the ballpark, but this year there are a few parts of the fan experience that might have you changing your plans. So first, the one lots of folks have been talking about, especially you at home, no Native American face paint or headdresses. This is part of the team's efforts to respect cultures and traditions. The kinds of face paint you can wear includes things like team logos, baseball-themed things, or your favorite player's number. As for Chief Wahoo, if you have Wahoo gear, you can wear that into the park just like in the past. But like last season, don't expect to see that logo anywhere on team jerseys or even around the stadium. Okay, and this year, another change. All tickets will be mobile tickets, meaning you need to have your MLB Ballpark app, My Indians Tickets account open, or the StubHub app. No paper, no screenshots, or really anything like that. To get help with the app, the Indians have a great step-by-step guide at indians.com/mobile. So those are some changes, but you can feel it, Jim. It's very exciting stuff out there. Back to you.
All right, Laura, thanks very much. When we come back on Indians opening day, it's been a long time coming. It's probably been too long coming. The Negro Leagues being accepted into Major League Baseball's record book. Opening day here on Channel 3. A look outside the gates here at Progressive Field, which will be opening up, and fans will be filing in at the top of the hour at 3 o'clock. The Indians and Royals at 4 o'clock. You can watch it all on the day that the Indians open up Progressive Field right here on Channel 3. In Indians history, there have been legendary players. Go back to 1948 when the Indians won that World Series. A World Series roster that was filled with Hall of Famers. Those are great Indians players. But, you know, there are a number of players who were great but never got the opportunity to play in the major leagues. Finally, and I underline finally, Major League Baseball says those players need to be recognized as part of our family, the Negro Leagues. And Pat Chiesa has that story.
Before the Indians won the 1948 World Series, another Cleveland baseball team won a championship.
Probably one of the unsung championship teams of Cleveland.
The Cleveland Buckeyes were an all-black team playing in a segregated league, shut out from Major League Baseball. 2 years before Jackie Robinson broke MLB's color barrier, the Buckeyes won the 1945 Negro League World Series by sweeping the Homestead Grays.
That's one of the bigger World Series upsets that you can find.
Baseball historian Leslie Heafy says because of racism, people don't know enough about the Negro Leagues.
It's amazing that people don't know more about the Buckeyes.
The Buckeyes' history lives on here at the Baseball Heritage Museum, right next to their old ballpark. But the players on this team aren't alive to see their legacy grow. In December, after decades of denial, Major League Baseball added 7 black leagues to its records. That means 3,400 players and their statistics from 1920 to 1948 will finally become a part of MLB history.
Our phones and emails have been just going off the hook.
Negro League Baseball Museum curator Dr. Raymond Doswell says he's heard mixed reactions to this announcement.
Some people see it as something that people should be proud of. There are others who see this as really just a pompous gesture.
Freelance sports journalist Justice Hill says Major League Baseball struck out with its timing.
Why do it now? What's so special about now that they couldn't have done it 20, 30, 40 years ago?
With only 4 Negro League players from that time period still living.
Was it too late? Certainly. But it can never be too late to do something that corrects the wrong.
Overdue recognition for those on the wrong side of their country's history. Pat Chiesa, 3 Sports.
What a great story. Thanks for that, Pat. When we come back, Nick Camino's back with one of the great young pitchers on that Indians talented starting rotation, Zach Plesac. That's next here on opening day on Channel 3. Today's Player to Watch brought to you by your local Cleveland Volkswagen dealer. Welcome to Cleveland. Eddie Rosario signed in the offseason, free agent over from the Minnesota Twins. It sure looked like a great move on Saturday when he belted that home run against the Detroit Tigers, and we'll see him in left field many a day for the Indians here in 2021. Welcome back, everybody. Time to check in with Nick Camino once again. Nick had a chance to talk with Zach Plesac. And you know what, Nick? I was watching Plesac pitch the other day in his first start against the Tigers, and I was yelling at the TV set, get this guy some runs. He was pitching that well.
I hope that's not a trend that we have to hear throughout the season, right, Jimmy? And first of all, happy opening day to you. And yes, we know that this starting rotation is going to be relied upon heavily. And yes, one of those guys in that rotation is right-hander Zach Plesac. And when I got a chance to talk to him, you could just tell right away he is ready to go.
Grinding through these weeks of spring, kind of building the culture together, kind of getting ourselves ready, building the foundation for the season ahead of us. I think we're all really anxious to get out there and start playing some games against some guys. And, you know, for now, it starts to count now, so we're ready to rock.
What is it about Major League Baseball opening day just that makes it so special to everybody? It feels like a national holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a time, you know, the summer's coming. We're going to be outside a lot, you know, fresh air, fresh cut grass, you know, the smell in the air, really just pure excitement of baseball and the joy of fans being together and, you know, the competition that it brings and the exciting players around the league. You know, I think there's a lot of exciting players, you know, breaking into this league, and it's just an exciting time to be playing right now on this level.
But what can you say about you and the guys in that starting five, how much you're looking forward to leading this club?
Yeah, it's just an exciting time. You know, the group we have, we've all played together for a couple of years at least. You know, we got some guys breaking through like Logan Allen, who's been pitching great this spring, and you know, the exciting pitchers like McKenzie and Savali, and obviously Shane, who's the Cy Young All-Star Game MVP, top pitcher in the league, you know. So it's just really exciting time for all of us to be around the same age to kind of have an idea of the culture, you know, with each other. You know, it's not a lot of tiptoeing around. It's more of feeding each other's fire and pushing each other and motivating each other to do great. And that's something I think we do really well.
For you personally, what's the big goal for Zach Plesac going into the 2021 MLB season?
Yeah, I mean, I want to be an MLB All-Star. I want to pitch 200 innings, get 200 strikeouts. You know, every time I take the mound, I want to throw a complete game. That's my mentality. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to attack. So really just put my team in the best position to win. Each time I pitch, you know, I want to help us win ball games. So if we can get chances to win when I'm on the mound, that's, you know, what I'm looking forward to. But, you know, I want to be an All-Star. I want to pitch 200 innings. I want to win a Gold Glove. And I want to be pitching in the postseason when it's the end of the year.
Well, Zach, listen, really appreciate the time. I know fans are excited to get back to the ballpark to watch you pitch and to watch you guys play. And best of luck this upcoming season here.
I appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Oh, pitching, and more pitching. We know it is going to be paramount for this Indians club. But, Jimmy, as I know you've talked about here on Channel 3, too, let's just hope they can score some runs, too.
Boy, I hope so, because that is great pitching. You'd hate to see that wasted. Thanks a lot, Nick. When we come back, it's Tito time. Terry Francona visits with us on Indians opening day, live from Progressive Field.
Take me back to Cleveland, to the roar of the crowd, waving my flag to the beating drum. Fireworks blasted, another home run, so let's root. We'll root for the Indians. Tribal roll once again. Just as 1, 2, 3 strikes, they're out at the old ball game.
Can anyone take the place of drummer John Adams, who is missing the opener here today? Well, this man will try. Patrick Carney from the Black Keys. Patrick, hailing from Akron, he is sitting in today to try and keep the beat here at Progressive Field that John Adams has done for so many years, missing his first home opener since 1973, and we wish him the best and good luck to Patrick today. I'm not going to lie to you, the skies here at Progressive Field are getting a little bit dark, but they are bright around the Indians manager, Terry Francona. Why? Well, because he's back. Remember, he only managed 14 games last year, so let's begin there with Tito.
I missed it last year, and there's no getting around it. And I didn't even really try to. I was miserable not being at the ballpark. Felt like I let some people down, and I don't like that feeling. So even though I'm kind of limping around here this year, I love going through the challenges with the people here.
You know, just to elevate how strange a year it was for everybody, for you certainly, but imagine, you were missing time. The Browns make the playoffs for the first time in forever, and their head coach can't coach the playoff game. He's in his basement watching it because of COVID. I mean, that's pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, probably the understatement of the day to say that we're in strange times. I mean, there's no getting around that. I think we all hoped when New Year's came, we'd be coming to spring training, no masks, no social distancing. That's not the case. No. Okay, so what are your choices? You can either cry about it and whine about it, or you can be grateful that we're actually playing baseball and that fans are going to be back in the games, because we missed that. As much as fans miss coming, I would be willing to bet we missed it more just because it just was so strange to show up to empty stadiums.
Tell me, Terry, overall, in general, what kind of team is it going to be for you this year? What do you like about them? How do you see the style of play that we'll see once it gets underway?
Well, I mean, I think we have to be realistic. We can't be a team that just rolls the bats and balls out there and expects to win. I don't think that's okay with me. We're going to have to play fundamentally sound baseball. We're going to need to try to separate ourselves by the way we run the bases, and not just aggressive, but intelligent and aggressive. There's a difference. One without the other doesn't really work. We've talked to our guys a ton about that. Saying that, there's been years where we've come out of spring training and I've felt so good and we get off to a miserable start. Yeah. There's been times where I've come out and I'm like, boy, I'm nervous, and you win 8 out of 10. So you just don't know. That's why you prepare the best you can, and then you go play the games.
Boy, I have to tell you, it's got to be comforting, though, to be able to hand the ball on opening day and then every fifth day after that to a Cy Young Award winner, and a young Cy Young Award winner like Shane Bieber. And I know there's a lot of talent behind him, but, boy, he keeps you out of losing streaks.
Well, hopefully we don't have them, but I get your point. When he pitches, you feel like you can match up against anybody and you got a chance to win. That's a really big compliment to any pitcher.
Tell me this, what about the division? Talk about it, how you view it.
How I always view it is whoever we're playing, that's who we have our sights set on. Mm-hmm. I think you can set yourself up for some disappointments if you look at one or two teams like, oh man, we got to get those. No, we got to play who we're playing, and we got to beat them, and then we move on, and then the next team is in our sights, and that's how we always view it. Or if you don't do it like that, you run the risk of being, too up and down.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be great to have you back, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a wonderful day, a very special day when those fans are back in there, whatever the percentage is, just to have them back in. That's going to grow, hopefully, as the summer goes along, and maybe by July, we'll all be there and accounted for. But, Terry, best of luck this year.
Jim, thanks so much, and we're looking forward to it also. Thanks.
All right, here's what's coming up. Are you ready, everybody? Indians live right after us in a matter of moments, 3 p.m. here on Channel 3. The Indians and Royals coming up at 4 o'clock. The weather is changing. A wind gust just blew through here at Progressive Field, and I swear the temperature dropped about 10 degrees. So our eyes are to the sky as we look down on the Gateway Plaza and the fans about to get their wish. They're coming back inside Progressive Field. Happy opening day, everybody, and thanks for being with us.